What is going on, guys? Welcome back. We are continuing on our GCSE psychology journey, and today we're going to be looking at animal and human, or human and animal communication. Carl von Frisch. He was an Austrian zoologist and ethologist whose pioneering studies on animal behavior revolutionized understanding of sensory biology and communication. His experiments decoding the waggle dance of honeybees demonstrated that bees convey information about food location, an insight foundational to modern ethology. Carl von Frisch, 1967, Honeybee Communication Study. Now this is a very important study for you guys, curriculum, so it's important that we know it, that we understand it, and that we can evaluate it. So what was the aim of the study? The aim was to investigate how honeybees communicate the location of food sources to other bees in the hive, focusing on whether their behavior could be described as a language. What was his procedure? Von Frisch trained honeybees to collect sugar water from sources placed at different distances and directions from the hive. He observed the dances bees performed when they returned to the hive. He then watched how the other bees responded to these dances and whether they could successfully locate the food. What were his findings? He found that bees use two main dances to communicate their information. The round dance, and this is used when food is close to the hive within 100 meters, and it tells other bees that food is nearby but not the direction. And the waggle dance. This is used when food is further away, and the direction of the waggle relative to the sun shows where the food is. The length of the waggle shows how far away the food is. Other bees followed these instructions and successfully found the food source. So this is just an illustration of what the round and waggle dance look like, just kind of illustration. So his conclusion was that honeybees use a complex system of communication that shares key features with language, for example, symbols and meanings. However, it is limited compared to human language. How so? Well, it's innate, so they're kind of born with that understanding of those dances. They don't go to dance school and learn it. It only communicates immediate survival-related information, i.e. food location. So to evaluate, the strengths of this is that there was high level of control. So the food distances and the directions were carefully controlled, making cause and effect conclusions more valid. It was objective data, so the bee dances are observable and measurable, reducing researcher bias. And it was replicable, so other researchers have repeated the study and found similar results, increasing the level of reliability. There was also strong evidence of communication, and it shows that bees can transmit specific information, i.e. the distance and the direction, not simply just signals. What about the limitations or weaknesses? Well, it isn't a true language, so bee communication lacks grammar, creativity, and the ability to discuss abstract ideas. This behavior is innate, so again, the dances are genetically programmed rather than learned, unlike human language. There's limited content. Bees only communicate about immediate survival needs, in this instance the food, not emotions or past or future events. And this is a very species-specific behavior, so findings cannot be generalized to humans or even other animals. So what are some of the limited functions of animal communication? Well, animals' communication is largely instinctive and serves immediate functional needs related to survival and reproduction. Unlike human language, which is flexible and creative, animal signals are often fixed, meaning they have a limited range of meaning and cannot be easily modified. Survival. Alarm calls are commonly used by social animals to warn group members of danger. Vervet monkeys, like the one we see here, use different alarm calls for different predators. So there's a distinct call for snakes, eagles, and leopards, prompting specific evasion actions. Meerkats stand guard and emit a sharp call to alert the group of approaching predators. Certain fish species release chemical signals in water when attacked to warn others of potential danger. So all of these behaviors are all about surviving, staying alive and making sure that the group survives, because obviously there's safety in numbers. Reproduction. Many animals use vocalizations, physical displays, or chemical signals to attract mates and ensure reproductive success. Peacocks fan out their elaborate tail feathers to signal genetic fitness to potential mates. Frogs and crickets produce mating calls at specific frequencies to attract females. Moths and other insects release pheromones that can be detected over long distances to attract mates. And here we see a peacock displaying its lovely feathers. Territory marking. So many species use scent markings, vocal signals, or physical displays to define and defend territory. If you guys have got dogs, then male dogs, you'll notice that when you take them for the walk, then they'll stop and pee on places. That is to mark their territory. Wolves and big cats urinate along the borders of their territory to warn intruders. Birds sing distinct songs to deter rivals from entering their territory. So this is all about making sure that their territory is established. Lions use roaring not only to communicate with the pride, but also to warn potential intruders of their presence. Aggressive postures and body language, such as raised fur or puffed up feathers, serve as visual deterrents to potential competitors, make themselves look bigger and more intimidating. Food communication, as we've just seen. Some animals use communication to share information about food sources. Ants leave pheromone trails to guide colony members towards a food source. Honeybees perform the waggle dance to convey detailed information about the location of nectar. Certain bird species emit calls when food is found, attracting others to feed. Properties of human communication not present in animal communication. So how is it that humans communicate in ways that animals cannot or do not communicate? Well, the ability to plan ahead and discuss future events. Human communication allows us to talk about things that are not happening right now, including plans, predictions, and hypothetical situations. For example, we can discuss what we'll do next week or imagine future possibilities, like when you guys will pass your exams. In contrast, animal communication is usually limited to the present moment, such as warning of immediate danger or signaling readiness to mate. Creativity. Human language is creative and productive, meaning we can create an infinite number of new messages using a limited set of words and rules. Humans can invent new phrases, tell stories, and express abstract ideas. Animal communication, on the other hand, is fixed and is limited, with signals that have specific meanings and cannot be combined in new ways to create original messages. Single versus multiple channels. Do we mean what we see on TV? No. Humans use multiple communication channels at the same time, such as spoken language, tone of voice, facial expressions, gestures, and even written text. These channels can work together to enhance meaning. Most animals rely on a single dominant channel, for example, like vocal sounds or chemical signals, or even visual displays like we just discussed. And these signals usually cannot be combined flexibly. Alright guys, hopefully that gives you a better understanding of human and animal communication, and you guys have got a good understanding of the important honeybee study. Refamiliarize yourself with it, make sure that you guys know it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.